Prefer when I'm by myself. I don't wanna hang around y'all. Prefer when I'm by myself. I don't wanna hang around y'all. Pray for good health.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Combat Sports Weekly. And with me, we are complete today, are the fellow Titos of Fighting, Karl De Mesa and JC Reyes of Destroy MNL. What's up, everybody? Yeah.
What's up?
Medyo complete po kami ngayon.
Marami po nangyari, kaya kompleto kami.
Marami po nangyari. Marami po tayong pagchichismisan. Okay, we're very happy to be with you. Thank you for tuning in. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube. Coach Franco's Corner. And of course, special participation of MMA Davao. Please, everyone, share this live video para marami tayong audience at maraming makichismis sa atin. Let us know what you think in the comment section. Okay? And follow us on social media. Teka lang, magsa-search ako kasi ang dami. May nag-heart na kagad. Marami sila. Okay, guys, thank you for sending us your likes and your hearts and your hugs. We appreciate it. Parang after broadcast ko na kasi nakikita na ang dami palang nagre-react sa atin. So, thank you so much. May feeling, Diba? Ayan. Ito pasaway ito eh. Pero ito yung paborito kong pasaway eh. Yan si Jomar. So, sa mga if you guys know and if you want to learn how to kick properly, ayan, paturo kayo kay Jomar. Okay, go to his school, get trained by Jomar.
Naging coach ko yan before. Grabe yan.
There are so many things happening. There are so many things that we're going to talk about. Yung unahin na natin yung medyo okay? Paano tayo? Pamiti ng pamiti. So the first one I want to discuss is, what are your thoughts on the upcoming fight ng dalawang dambuhala? Si Mountain, tsaka di ba? Who's that guy? The Mountain, tsaka the other guy. It's like huge people.
Strongest man. Yung isa.
Yung mga strongest man, di ba? Feeling ko talaga, dapat ang referee dyan si Ngannou or si Tyson Fury. Kasi ang laki nila eh. Diba? Sobrang laki nilang dalawa. And I think they need
Eddie Hall.
They need a large ring.
Yeah, they do.
Diba?
Boxing to, diba?
Sa sahig na lang sila, tapos may harang na.
O kaya sa basketball court. Huge shout out, Don Zulueta. What do you think? Yung battle of the huge people, yung mga strong men. What do you think of that fight? So sobrang ako para sa akin added spectacle lang din talaga, 'di ba? So
pusta pa sila sa isa't isa, no? Apparently.
Ang laki, man.
$100,000.
Magkano?
Ang betting pool nila.
$100,000. Hindi, silang dalawa.
Wow.
Pag natalo mo ako, bayaran mo ako $100,000. Pag natalo ko, bigyan kita $100,000.
Pero pero ang tawag dito,
sanction ba to?
Hindi, parang sa Gulf region to eh.
Okay. Mga Dubai.
Yeah. Maraming Arab money yan.
Oo.
Ay, for sure.
Tapos, teka lang guys, meron tayong bisita, okay? We are going to be graced with the presence of Tita Che from MMA Talk Philippines. Hi,
MMA
Tita
Talk
Che.
in the house.
Hello,
good evening, guys.
For the fences din pala.
Sakto. Maganda yung background namin. Itim ako. Diba? We're gonna talk about a lot of fights. Lalo na si Tita Che, she covered the recent UFC event. And pag-uusapan natin yan later on. Now, everyone, yan yung mga pakilagay po ang inyong insights and comments kung anong nangyari. What do you think of the previous events? And keep sharing this live. Okay? Now, everyone, next is nagba-boxing news muna kami, Tita Che. Okay. So, ang isang issue rin for me was the recent fight ni Jerry Pez Promotions in Cebu. So, this is the second incident in Cebu wherein it was only one fight. It was the fight of Christian Pitt Laurente. So, Laurente was supposed to be the headliner for that event. So, nagwa-warm up na siya. Then here comes a physician, and then says na he saw something in his scans daw. And then told him you can't fight. Kasi di ka pa rin umakit ng ring. Which is super super malabo. It's very controversial. And I do not understand the rationale behind it. I really hope that whoever's watching and listening to this can point us to the right direction. I'll do my best to ask the Games and Amusements boards kasi it's very unlikely.
Wala ring any official statement about that incident.
Wala ring official statement.
Weird.
I do not understand why it happened and bakit ganon. Kasi normally for fighters, they all go through pre-fight medical. So lahat yan nagme-medical, they apply for their licenses, they get their brain scans, they get their CT scans pa nga ata yung iba eh. And if you pass the test, you're given the go signal by the GAB, the Games and Amusements Board. So dapat fight night okay ka na.
Yeah.
So now for a physician to say na I found something suspect, hindi rin niya inexplain kung ano yon. And then
So not shady.
Oh, it's super shady, bro. It's super shady. And it's unfair to the fighter, it's unfair to the coaches, it's unfair to the opponent. It's unfair to the fight fans. It's unfair for the promotions who waited for that.
The biggest question mark dyan is bakit on the day itself palang ginawa?
Tsaka habang nagwa-warm up,
Hindi ba?
pare.
Yun na nga eh.
Yeah.
Diba? Nagwa-warm up, biglang, uy, may something. Ako sa tagal ko sa industriya na to, parang bihira mangyari yan. And this is probably
So, first time ko nakarinig na
parang
ganyan.
first time ko lang din siya narinig na ganyan. Ikaw, Tita Che, yung mga napanood mong MMA events or any sporting event, meron kang narinig na ganon?
So far, isa lang yung papunta pa lang siya sa pa-walk out na siya, bigla siyang hinimatay. Yun lang. Pero other than that, wala namang mga ganong incident.
Medyo
At
malala
least
yun.
yun, kasalanan ng fighter. Hindi mo
Oo.
Baka naman
Oo.
mental and problem ata yun, ma'am.
Oo,
Baka
diba?
ninervous.
At least yung fighter yung may problema doon. Ito, talagang it's very suspect. Ako, I don't understand why that happened and it's very unfortunate. Pero mo, they had to endure so many things. And I'm not saying this kasi kakilala ko yung mga Laurente, pero it's very unfair for them as a team. As a team of fighters and coaches na they sacrifice so much. Walang Pasko at bagong taon yan. And then all of a sudden, that fight had to be rescheduled again. So, sakit din sa ulo sa mga
Plus, they
promoters
flew
yan.
from Jensan to Cebu just for that fight.
Jensan to Cebu, di ba? O, ayan, di ba? Hi, Coach Gabay. Ayan, si Coach Gabay po. Ayan.
Hello.
About to start
Reppin'.
class. Yes.
Yeah.
Keep us in the background.
Mhm.
Yan, thank you, Coach Gabay. Next is another one. I'm so happy that boxing is happening. I'm covering a lot of boxing events and I'm happy that boxing is happening. So, controversy din naman fuels a lot of conversations. Nakakatuwa rin naman. Yung the recent one is, ikaw, JC, ano tingin mo dun sa Taduran Cuarto fight? I mean, this is the second fight. This is the rematch, okay? This is the rematch. And then the rematch ended in controversy as well. Ikaw, I wanna know your thoughts, JC.
At least hindi na nasisi before sa laban na yon. Pero parang sabi nga nung team ni Taduran, they're not looking for a third fight anymore. Kasi nga daw baka ganun pa rin ang mangyari. The thing is, nag-post pa rin naman sila apparently on social media that they think something shady happened do sa decision ng fight kaya nagkagano na naman yung resulta. Well, I think kailangan panoorin na lahat and yun nga, I mean, parang medyo weird na dalawang beses mangyayari kung if you claim na, something shady happened na sabihin na natin dinaya if that's their term parang ganun yung pinapalabas sa dinaya sila for the second time and dun din kasi sa same place kung saan or sa same province kung saan sila unang nagkaroon ng medyo result ng laban na hindi in their favor, nadehado sila. Gusto nga daw sana nila kung nag-rematch sa Manila gawin para neutral ground ng lahat. Kaya lang, Ganun din.
Ako di ko mag-gets doon, men. Ang tawag dito, ikaw, as we've covered and we've talked about so many boxing matches, 2 points, di ba? Ako in my entire refereeing career, I've never deducted 2 points straight. So, intentional or unintentional, never ako nag-deduct ng 2 points.
Yung first na, dinadaktan nyo, yung napaluhod si,
Hindi. Intentional headbutt daw. It was an intentional headbutt. And then, after the headbutt, tinawagan niya kaagad. Deduction niya kaagad 2 points. Kay Cuarto to Kay Cuarto. Nag-deduction ng 2 points kay Cuarto. Oh, hindi. Pero the way I saw it, the way I was looking at it, it wasn't really intentional. Tsaka the way, syempre, it would really depend dun sa, ako I would understand, syempre iba yung dynamics ng nanonood, iba yung dynamics ng nandun ka mismo, you're the third man in the ring. Pero ako kasi, when it comes to these intentional things, I would pause the fight and I will tell the fighter, "Hoy, I know what you're doing. First warning mo." Para malinaw sa kanya na nagwo-warning ka. 'Di ba? Yun ang I mean,
lalo nung first time yun na sa buong laban na headbutt, 2 points kagad.
So parang kahit nasabihin kasi nung referee na, and I mean different styles, different referees, different styles. Kaya kami, we always say na no matter what happens, if you're going to warn the fighter, you halt the fight. Kasi habang nagsusuntukan yan, hindi ka nila maririnig. Wala silang pakialam sa'yo. So, what we do is we pause the fight, stop the timer, and notify the fighter, hey, you're doing something na illegal. This is your first warning. Para malinaw.
Yung dos agad yung bawas.
Oo. Kasi when you deduct 1 point, kaya niyang bawiin yun eh. Diba? You deduct 2 points, you disrupt the entire spectrum and the entire momentum of the fight na. Kasi, kumbaga na 10-8 mo na kagad yung kalaban mo. Diba?
So, ang laking habol na agad siya.
Ang laking habol nun. Diba? Sobrang laking habol nun.
So, what would merit 2 points? Parang, it sounds like a left-way headbutt na, diba?
yung intentional headbutt daw. So, sabi ko, okay, sige, sabihin na nating suspect. Pero, dude, walang warning, walang halt, walang medyo, pero sabi nila magaling daw yun eh. Magaling daw yung referee na. Sabi ko, okay. Pero sana next time hindi na maulit. Tapos,
sikat na referee yung nag-referee nung fight.
Everybody knows him.
Although, actually, parang sa pagkakaalam ko, first ever controversial match na siya yung third man in the ring. So, ewan ko rin kung ano nangyari dun sa fight na yun. I mean, I'm sure hindi naman din siya magsasalitaan na about what he did in the ring. I mean, as a referee, you should stand by your decision naman. Whatever it is. I mean, hindi ka naman kukuha ng mic in a fight and explain yourself after.
Ako rin naman, I wouldn't encourage any referee to do that. Pero sana lang naman, I hope that personally, I hope they get to run it again. They do it in a different area. They get a different type of, they get a separate
pero parang
set of
aakyat na daw ng
officials.
division sila Taduran yata because of what happened.
So, na lang natin. Iba na lang natin. Tapos, everyone, March 12, VSP Promotions, together with Elorde Promotions, VSP Boxing is going to hold a very huge, wild, and exciting fight card. March 12, it's going to be in the Grand Ballroom of the Elorde Sports Complex. I will just run down the fights. Okay, so it's Lynn Sandstorm versus Isa Alico. Sandstrom. So mali yung spelling nila dito. It's Malfred Mahadas versus John J.V. Antonio. So these are from Marte Elorde Boxing Stable. Alico is from Cagayan de Oro. Antonio is from Caloocan City. We got Carlo Bacaro from Omega Boxing Promotions. That's really good. Jimmy Borbon from Santa Elena, Camarines Norte. Saan sana sila nanggagaling. Lawrence Rosas from Marte Elorde versus Justine Ace Tesoro. Justine Ace Tesoro and Lawrence Rosas is a really good matchup to. Ramon Basas from Olivetti Boxing Stable will go up against Jason Buenaobra from Marte Elorde Boxing Stable. Giovanni Escaner from Marte Elorde Boxing Stable is going to fight Albert Alcoy from Marinduque. Pablito Cañada from Zamboanga is going to fight Richard Pumikpik from Elorde plus
maganda yata
BF.
yung matchup na yun.
Maganda yung matchup na yun. Pablito Cañada versus
kamay yung dalawang yun.
Yep, these are hard-hitting fighters na feeling ko, that's why they're very exciting. Wala silang pakialam sa record nila. Makikipagsuntukan lang talaga sila. It's Gino Rodrigo from Olivetti Boxing Stable versus Roberto Gonzalez from Batangas. Leonardo Doroño from Reyes Gym versus Arnel Baconaje from VSP Elorde Southbox. Magandang matchup din yun.
Wow.
Danny Tampipi from Tarlac is going to fight Michael Dasmariñas from Hardstone Moniz La Union.
Yes, Michael Dasmariñas is back.
He's back. Yung comeback fight niya very anticlimactic because it ended with a headbutt ba? Or basta saglit lang yan eh. I covered that fight eh. Sayang. Sana
hot and spicy? The hot and spicy?
Yes,
hot and spicy to. Hot and spicy. And then we got Bienvenido Ligas. Ben Ligas from VSP Elorde Las Piñas versus Roland J. Biendima from General Santos City. And the co-main event is
looking for redemption to.
Carl James Martin defends his RP Flyweight Championship belt against Ronnie Baldonado. Medyo gusto ko tong laban na to. This is going to be a really good fight. So James Martin is from Ifugao Boxing Stable and Baldonado is from Cotabato. And the main event is for the World Boxing Association Super Bantamweight title between Charlie Suarez from VSP Boxing Stable versus Tom Jun Mangubat from Omega Boxing Promotions. It's a very, very packed, wild... Lagi ko na sinasabi, kahit kay ate ko sabi ko, sobrang wild ng fight card na to. Sobrang saya panoorin ito. So we're gonna give you the lowdown and we're going to cover that fight. It's going to be a whole day affair for sure. And we're gonna give it to you live here on Facebook and on YouTube. Now, we're going to go UFC 271, but before that, tatanungin namin si Tita Che. I'm very curious. There are only a few women I know who can actually talk about MMA. So please give us a glimpse, okay? Like a snippet of your MMA journey na parang... Ako kasi I'm very curious and forever, whoever's gonna watch it, watching and listening to this na...
How are you
I mean, there are a lot of fans. Okay? There are a lot of fans. But you see...
You're one of the more passionate fans.
Hindi lang passionate fans. You can break things down. You know the right terms to say. That's why we wanted to have you here. You're very sharp. I saw probably 2 episodes of you on the Comics Man podcast covering 2 UFC events already. You're really, really good at what you do. This is not tooting your horn or giving you bullshit. So it's like really good. So this girl knows what she's doing. Okay? And the reason why I want to have her here, nire-recruit namin siya para maging tita sa fighting namin siya.
Mag-branch out na po kami.
Mag-branch out po kami. Very inclusive po kami dito. Now, I'm personally I'm very happy to see and to know that you're very knowledgeable at this. It's not just passionate, you're knowledgeable. Ibang klaseng deep dive yun eh. So please, Tita Che, what gravitated you towards MMA?
Hello, good evening, JC, good evening to all of you guys, Coach Franco, good evening. At first, naririnig ko lang yung MMA sa mga classmates ko na boys. And then I got curious. Sabi ko, ano ba yung pinag-usapan nila? Parang interesting siya. So, nung nag-start akong manood, wala akong masyadong ibang friends na, yung mga group of friends ko, walang mahilig na manood ng MMA. So, I started watching kapag late night, yung mga replay sa anong pa bang channel yun dati sa cable. Basta sa gabi replay. So, nagkaroon ako ng
Solar
interest.
Sports yan.
Oo, parang ganun. Tapos, and then nasundan ko yung career ni TJ Dillashaw. Sabi ko, magaling to. Tapos, nagkaroon ako ng interest and then I started watching yung mga lumang fights kasi naririnig ko rin sa mga classmates ko before yung Iceman, si Chuck Liddell. Nung napanood ko, sabi ko, yung angas nito, ayos to. Tapos, nakamohok lang siya. And then, kasi pag may gusto ako isang bagay, kunwari interesado ako sa isang bagay, nagre-research ako. Ayokong parang sumali sa isang conversation na wala akong alam. So I make sure na yung isang bagay na gusto ko, pinag-aaralan ko. And eventually, I fall in love with this sport kasi yung adrenaline na binibigay niya sa akin, though I'm not fighting, I'm not training, pero yung adrenaline na binibigay niya sa akin every time I watch my favorite fighters na lumalaban, kakaiba yun. Naiiyak ako, natutuwa ako, nalulungkot ako, yung mga ganun na emotion. Doesn't matter to me kahit manood ako mag-isa every Sunday morning, kahit gumising ako ng maaga, wala sa akin yun. And most of the people na nakakausap ko before I join yung podcast nila Gerald, ang mga kausap ko online lang kasi bumubuo ako ng discussion thread, mga ganon. So, para sa akin, masaya. And then, through this sport also, marami akong nakilala ng mga tao na eventually naging kaibigan ko. So, yun.
Nice. How about local promotions? Tsaka amateur,
Local promotion, na-invite na ako before manood ng URCC. Maganda siya. And also, sa Okada, yes. And then, nanood din ako ng Brave. Tapos, yun yung mga napanood ko pa sa local, yung URCC pa lang. Yung ina-invite ako before ni referee Florence sa Marikina. Kaso nga lang meron akong pasok ata kaya hindi ako nakapunta.
Ayan. Basta pag may mga ganyan, invite natin si Tita Che para up close and personal encounter sa loob ng cage. Ayan, pareho daw kayo. Sabi ni Relly Aguilar, medyo pareho raw kayo ng experience. Okay, thank you for tuning in, Relly. Hi, Mamoy. Ayan, isa pa yan. Another fight fan yan. Si teacher to eh. This is a educator of the future. si Moirine. Okay, now, let's go. UFC 271. We'll go per fight. Okay, we'll give our di ko maintindihan tong si UFC eh. Pagka nagtitignan ko yung results, laging pinapalitan yung pinapalitan yung mga headlines nila eh. Laging pinupush nila yung yung mga
yung star of the moment nila.
Oo. Tantado tong si
Ever since yung binili nila yung agency yung bumili ng Zoffa, diba?
Oo.
Ganyan na
Ayan,
yung
kasi Bobby Green, wala na yan. Si Alexander Hernandez versus Moicano. Yan, that's a really good submission.
Yeah.
Teka lang Bakit kasi? Ayan. Maganda rin yung mga susunod Okay, let's go. Jared Cannonier versus Derek Brunson. Okay?
Out of nowhere.
Jared Cannonier. Okay. Jared Cannonier, missed weight by 12 pounds. Okay. Ito yung mga
was he even trying?
Effort. Okay, hindi na siya nag-effort. Pag 12 pounds, hindi ka na nag-effort. Wala ka nang pakialam. Umattend ka na lang nung weigh-ins. Okay, umattend ka na lang nung weigh-ins. Okay, Tita Che, walk us through the fight when you were covering it. And so give us your rundown on what happened while watching it and now na medyo nahimasmasan ka na para you're now looking at it from a better perspective.
Okay, so as expected kasi Derek Brunson hindi siya yung makikipagsabayan in striking with Jared Cannonier because Jared Cannonier is known na meron siyang knockout power. So nakita natin as Derek Brunson when he faced mga striker in the past for these past 3 fights like Kevin Holland. And meron pa siyang isang nakalaban na striker din, Darren Till. So, ang naging, and also Edmund Sebastian. So, naging game plan niya is i-take down, tapos i-pin yung opponent niya on the ground hanggang sa, so, eventually, mananalo siya by doing that. And what happened to kay Jared Cannonier, yun din yung in-execute, yun din yung game plan niya against Jared Cannonier. However, so sobrang, nag-exert siya ng effort to take Jared Cannonier down, ang daming energy yung nawala sa kanya and then nakita natin yung second round, talagang exhausted, pagod na si Derek Brunson and then doon nag-capitalize doon si Jared Cannonier. Sobra yung pagka-knockout niya kay Derek Brunson and I'm glad that his Derek Brunson's corner throw the towel in kasi syempre parang ang priority pa rin dapat ng coach ng corner is yung
fighter safety.
Yes, fighter safety. So, nung nakita ko parang sumisigaw na parang tama na kasi yung elbow na tumatama dun sa dito ata sa may orbital bone ni Derek Brunson. I'm sure na talagang fractured yun. So, yun yung gusto niya execute na game plan. Yun nga lang, hindi siya naging ready dun sa cardio niya. Kaya yun yung naging downfall niya. Yun yung naging downfall niya kalahapon.
Ikaw, did you see this fight, JC?
The highlights na lang nakita ko. Yung official highlights, hindi ako nanonood ng highlights.
Highlights ng mga edited lang.
Oo. Yeah, nakita ko yung highlights ito. Pero hindi pa rin talaga maalis sa isip ko na. I mean, although, Cannonier did this part, pumasok kasi sa fight na he was overweight. So, parang...
Yeah, hindi ko nabalitaan yun na nag-miss weight pala siya by 12 pounds. Buti na lang hindi kinancel ng UFC kasi usually sa UFC, pag nag-exceed ka ng 3 or 4 pounds, diba?
Ginano ata siya na fight was supposed to be heavyweight. Parang gano'n. Ito nga. Ayun. So, anyway, parang tapos ang lakas pa ng loob ni Cannonier na after the fight. He called out.
May hingi pa ng bonus.
Adasahan niya agad. Humingi ka ng bonus.
Humingi pa.
Labo, diba?
Yeah.
Automatic disqualified na sila sa bonus kapag nag-miss weight.
Oo nga.
Tapos, diba?
Dapat.
Tsaka magkano ang menos ng fight purse?
Yung for this fight, Cannonier lost 40% of his purse.
Wow.
Laki.
Tama lang. Dapat nga 50 kasi sobra
50,
yung 12 pounds eh.
12 pounds.
Tama.
Sobra.
Diba? So now for we're going to do a deep dive on this. So normally when you go the last 8 to 10 pounds, so in Cannonier's case, it's the last 12 pounds. Normally you cut that 1 to 2 weeks during fight week or particularly during fight week. If-face out mo yan. So you're gonna the 10 pounds ikakat mo yan per day depende sa metabolism mo and the rate of what do you call this? The rate in which you lose poundage each day. So, di ba nakikita nyo yung embedded nangyayari dyan? They're still sweating it out. They're slightly training. Yung iba nagla-light sparring and then you see them either walk on the treadmill or they go on the sauna kasi nga they're doing it methodically. Paunti-unti ang pagkakat. Okay? The last day of cut, normally, ano na lang yan, yun na yung mga, it's the bloodiest cut. We call it the bloodiest cut kasi it's the last 5 pounds siguro, 3 to 5 pounds. Those are yun yung pinakamahirap na ikat eh. Yun yung kaya nakikita nyo, nagsusona sila, nakahiga, di ba? So, again, different methodologies of cutting weight. Now, when it comes on Cannonier's case, hindi niya na sigurado ginawa yun. The way I saw him walk down during weigh-ins, his demeanor, the way he was looking at the scale and at the media, wala na siyang, it's not, I'm sorry, mali yung wala siyang pakialam. Yung tipong alam niya na hindi siya nag-cut. Alam niya na hindi siya nag-cut. I really think that he wanted to win this fight. He would risk the cut, the pay cut, the 40% cut to guarantee the win. Kasi Jared Cannonier's size, hirap yan mag-middleweight. The same way Derek Bronson is a huge guy. These are two huge guys that cuts down to middleweight. So feeling ko na lang dyan, he didn't risk the weight cut so that he can guarantee his win. So parang nanigurado siya sa panalo so hindi na siya nag-cut weight.
Bawas na lang tayo ng purse.
Oo, bawas na lang tayo ng purse kasi if you win, you have a better chance at fighting for the belt.
Yeah.
Kasi title ano yan eh, each fight at middleweight
for
will be a
contender
contender.
status na siya.
For contender status na siya. So he took that chance. Now let's see if the UFC sees that angle and they penalize him for that. Or they follow the rankings and they recognize his win. Kasi a win is a win eh. Pinayagan pa rin nila. Tulad yung sinabi ni Che kanina, there are certain fights na hindi nila tinutuloy because fighters miss weight. Pero for this one, they allowed it to happen and they just penalized Cannonier. So we'll see if this gamble pays off later on. Now, for context, during fight night, if you are overweight by 12 pounds during weigh-ins day, you'll probably add 5 to 9 pounds on fight day.
So
Derek Bronson, who made weight, is going to recover. He'll probably add the same 5 to 9 pounds. So if you weighed in at 185, nasa 190 plus ka fight night, Derek Brunson. Cannonier, nasa 200 plus
200
yan.
plus.
So you're basically trying to fight and take
Smart.
down a guy who is way bigger than you. Di ba? And that probably answers Relly's question na bakit ang pangit mag-shoot ni Bronson ng takedown.
Takedown.
So we will go back to Chess earlier statements na by the later rounds, pagod na si Bronson. Because you're practically fighting MMA against a guy who has a 15 to 20 pound advantage over you. So sobrang bigat nun, di ba? So it's either tapusin mo kaagad yung laban or you're strong enough na you can sustain the fight for 3 rounds. And it was a good stoppage by the corner. Cannonier was just dropping too many elbows inside half guard. And I'm very happy na kahit papano na recognize nung corner yon, threw in the towel. Bronson gets to fight another day. So we'll see now kung anong gagawin ni UFC dito. Will they uphold the win or are they going to penalize Cannonier for missing weight, 'di ba? And say, okay, you fall back in line. Kasi maraming mas sa'yo dyan. Maraming
nagka-tweet na maganda.
Yeah. Oo, maraming tumupad sa usapan. And ako favorite ko tong laban na to. Derek Lewis versus Taito Ibasa. Che, give us your thoughts.
Yes, please.
Same thing din nangyari yung kay Derek Lewis at kay Taito Ibasa. I'm not sure bakit yun yung naging game plan ni Derek Lewis na to take Taito Ibasa daw. Siguro he respect Taito Ibasa's power kaya doon siya sa safe side kasi nga the last time na he fought dun sa arena na yon, the same arena when he faced Cyril Gane, gano'n yung nangyari sa kanya na TKO siya. Siguro alam niya yung kakayanan ni Taito Ibasa to knock him out. So yung in-exert niya na, kasi imagine you can, like what you said earlier nung tinatry ni Bronson i-take down the Jared Cannonier who has ang laki ng advantage when it comes to weight sa kanya. What more sa heavyweight? Yung itinatry mo na i-take down na kalaban mo is weigh like 265 pounds pataas. And then, nagulat ako nung Taito Ibasa, parang inabsorb niya lahat ng best shot ni Derek Lewis and then he's still standing there. Hindi man lang siya, nawabol siya konti, pero hindi yung to the point na mag-worry ka, hindi siya worrisome. And then, nung nabalik talaga nakikipagsabayan siya, siguro naramdaman din ni Derek Lewis yung power din ni Taito Ibasa. Then, nung nag-end yung first round, sabi ko, sobrang na-exert yung effort ni Lewis dito. Kung sino yung mas nag-exert ng effort ng round 1, siya yung dehado pagpasok ng round 2. So, yun tama nga, nangyari nga na parang napagod si Lewis. Nagulat ako sa kanya kasi round 2 pa lang, sobrang napagod na siya. And ang ganda nung pagkaka-execute ng elbow ni Taito Ibasa. Nagulat talaga ako doon. But, pero kasi naglalaro kasi ang topology, I picked Taito Ibasa to win KO-TKO ng round 2.
Wow.
Pero sabi ko, kaya kasi a lot of people think na parang hindi nila binibigyan ng chance si Taito Ibasa na parang, this is Derek Lewis.
Yeah.
And I think na magaling si Taito Ibasa, but this is Derek Lewis. Yes. Yun. So I'm so happy for him kasi finally, after nung 3 consecutive losses ni Taito Ibasa, na-redeem na niya yung sarili niya and he's now riding a 5 fight win streak. And I think pwede na siyang isali sa conversation ng title shot sa heavyweight. I'm so happy kasi finally may bago ng contender sa heavyweight division.
Na-shake up.
Tito Karl, Karl, I want to see your thoughts. When
Share.
big boys fight,
that's the essence of MMA. Like, ito yung spectacle aspect natin. I only have 3 words when heavyweights fight. Like, kahit ano pa yung nasa system nila, just let them fight. Is my take on it. Tama si Che. What a loss for Derek Lewis, no? Like hometown, tapos leading up to it, yung all that hype. I am just glad, again, tama nga si Che, na finally Ty has been given the kind of exposure and the kind of fight that he excels at. The kind of parang opponent that he would, if he won, he would be catapulted even more kasi he's been getting a lot of attention with his shoeys and with the coverage. Parang bin-build up na siya ng UFC in some way. And yet still, leading up to this one, parang mas binigyan nilang attention si Derek. Mostly just because tiga Houston nga. Madlaki siya Texan and he's been... I don't know about the game plan na tipong si Derek has been parang nagmamayabang siya na, I'm at the level of a Division 1 wrestler, just like he's the baddest blue belt in Texas. Mga ganong stuff. Because, he's low-key very funny, man. Tapos, meron pa yung pre-fight press conference ata na may nagtatanong, ewan ko kung sinong pohang yun, na pag hindi kayo mag-shoey, pag natalo daw si Tai, magka-copy daw siya. Bigay mo daw mo yung cup mo kay Tai. Like, gagawin niya for if he loses, ganyan.
Yun yung
so glad he
motivation
didn't
ni Tai.
Like, I don't wanna, can I pay the UFC to not see that one man drinking another man's cup? Huwag na tayo pumunta sa ganon. Pwede ba ibigay na natin yan sa Rising or sa Full Metal Dojo? Kasi I loved it.
Pang Full Metal Dojo shit na yan.
Parang mas, siya, di ba? Pang ganong gimmick eh. Wag na natin gawin yan sa mga big leagues na ganito. Parang nagustuhan ko pa tong fight na to rather than the actual main event, which was kind of... It wasn't boring. It was, I guess the term is it's too technical, the main event. Pero this one delivered in terms of hype, spectacle, and the finish. That elbow, I think, was something out of parang we finally figured out his range, and let's pin this guy against the fence with short range. It was so short range, no?
Sobra.
It was something na tipong in-stretch mo lang yung sarili mo, tapos pinasok mo yung elbow. And yet, delivered with that kind of force by such a big guy and such a tough individual na weathering that kind of storm. Kasi nagbabatuhan na sila in the middle of the second. Eh.
Yes.
Actually.
Ang saya. Parang yung ambient mic nga doon sa gitna, it was catching all the sounds and it's like, nice.
Sobra. Tapos 8K camera sila dun. So nakikita mo, puto yung batuhan ng elbow, ang laki. So nag-jiggle yung elbow, nag-jiggle din yung mga katabaan nila dun eh. Diba? Grabe yung mga camera nila. Grabe
all of this is
ni
considering
UFC
na si Tuivasa actually got cut for some time sa UFC noong 2020. Tapos binalik agad siya. So this is a very big fight for him. Kasi nakabalik na siya. He's now on a very impressive win streak. And dapat nasa conversation na talaga siya ng division sa contenders for the title.
I agree.
Yes, I agree.
JC, any other inputs on this fight?
Tama si Karl, buti na lang talaga hindi nangyari yung copy kasi maraming hindi makakatulog if that happened.
Tsaka paano nila dudukutin, di ba? Paano nila dudukutin yun, man?
Ewan ko.
Ginawa ni
very close yun when his balls get hot so
di ba? Ang sablay
Yes, Miss Jen.
Ay, sorry. Last time kasi parang tinanggal ni Derek Lewis yun nung kalaban niya si Chris Docus, tapos binato niya sa audience sa Apex 10. Apex, yes.
Because his balls got hot.
Nakakatawa kasi kahapon, ang dami nag-expect na, bakit hindi siya uminom sa kape? Sa kakadiri na parang, bakit niyo gustong makita yung gano'n? Yung sa shoeing niya, kasi parang tradition nila ata sa Australia, I'm not sure. Parang okay lang, sige, kasi ginagawa nila. Yung pa kaya sa cup, parang,
sa cup pa?
No.
Ano ba to? Teka lang Sa sarili ba niyang cup or sa cup nung kalaban niya?
Sa cup ni Derek daw.
Sa cup ni Derek daw
Lewis.
Diba?
Yes,
Yun.
yes.
So parang, I will never do that.
Kung sarili niya cup, okay lang, pero,
Okay lang.
Kung sarili mo, okay lang. Pero sa kalaban
okay
mo,
lang.
what the hell?
Yung shoey ba kailangan sa ibang tao na nasa
kailangan sa ibang tao.
Pwede bang bago? O gano'n? Pwede bang bago sa
ibang
parosyo?
tao. Kailangan sa ibang tao.
sa ibang tao.
Diba?
Ginawa ata yun ni Alexander Volkanovski.
Oo.
Nung nanalo siya against kay Brian Ortega. Sa sleepers naman niya pinadaan yung beer. Pero sa locker room na.
Sa locker room
Sabi ko
na.
na, oo.
Australians.
Kaloy,
All props to them.
what's up? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Okay, now when it comes to those two kasi, it's everyone's attention. The reason why I love this fight is because everyone's attention is on Ngannou. And Ngannou's been destroying people left and right. The Cyril Gane fight just amplified Ngannou's dominance over the heavyweight division. Now, people will always speculate who can fight Ngannou or who can be a contender. Diba? Cyril Gane was the closest. Diba? So it's going to be difficult for the UFC who's gonna be next. And for them to have an eliminator between Derek Lewis and Tuivasa, they finally have another pair or another set of contenders. Kasi Derek Lewis has, diba? Derek Lewis lasted against Ngannou. Derek Lewis has knockout power. Si Tuivasa naman, Tuivasa's on a winning streak. Tapos Tuivasa has knockout power as well. And they're very polar opposites of what Ngannou or who Ngannou is. Kasi Ngannou's this massive, diba? Parang big gorilla na maskulado, I don't know. So, and then
It's so scary that he learned to smash from the last fight.
oh, diba?
Yes.
And if we're going to go back the last fight with Cyril Gane, sobrang ganda ng wrestling ni Ngannou. Diba? Sobrang ganda ng wrestling niya. Those takedowns were on another level. It's for you to be able to pull off those wrestling techniques or those takedowns against someone like Cyril Gane, it simply means that you were training it for a very long time. Ibig sabihin, nasa back pocket na pala ni Ngannou yun. Kasi the way he transitioned from one shot to the other, and then especially when he picked him up, yung swivel turn, yung lifting of the leg, ang tagal bago maano yun matagal bago matagal bago ma-master yun So it takes a lot of timing. More than anything, when you're trying to develop your wrestling skills, it takes a lot of time. You really have to drill it over and over and over again for you to get the angle and for you to get the level of connection.
Do you guys think it's a Kamaru Usman exposure?
It's a Kamaru Usman thing. It's the influence of his coaches. I mean, he trains at Extreme Couture. The program of Extreme Couture is wrestling heavy. So, ano yan, tawag dito, imposibleng walang wrestling dyan. It just so happens that we're so used to Ngannou knocking out people. Ngannou is so used to knocking out people. I don't know if it's true I don't know how true na he was injured or he had a slight injury that he opted for wrestling or taking Cyril Gane down. But for me, personal opinion ko is he wants to make a statement of that fight. He could have knocked out Cyril Gane, but he wanted to showcase his other skill sets. Now, okay, you're gonna give me an athletic, skilled striker. Okay, let me take him down in front of you, diba? A lot of people can't take down Cyril Gane. Oh, guess what? I can. I'll do it repetitively. Diba? He was able to go to mount. He was able to pass half guard. He was able to maintain half guard and throw down attacks. Tapos, ang pinaka-importante doon is he showed everyone that he could do it over and over and over again. Na that Cyril Gane wasn't capable of stopping or stuffing his takedowns. Yun yung pinaka-main takeaway over that fight. So, it's a statement fight, kumbaga. In the fight game, that's called a statement fight. Na parang you're telling people, hey, I'm not a one-trick pony. So, I hope lang talaga na it's going to give him a better contract. Kasi there's no... on social media, it looks good na Tyson Fury versus Ngannou, but there's no guarantee There's no guarantee. Tandaan niyo yan. For example, Ngannou listens to whoever's talking to him na, hey, you can have bigger money on boxing. Sige, I'll leave the UFC, go to boxing. Guess what's gonna happen? The boxing world will eat up Ngannou. Walang leverage si Ngannou sa boxing world. He will have to climb up the ranks. He's gonna get paid less. And what if Tyson Fury says, fuck you, I'm not gonna fight you? Diba? Wala silang kontrata Diba? They're talking smack on social media. They're talking shit. They're inviting each other. Tyson Fury is actually luring him into boxing. But there's no contract. Diba? So what if Ngannou says, bye-bye UFC, I'm gonna go to boxing? Diba? There's so much potential here. Then boxing promoters will say, sorry. Diba?
You
Hell
have no
no.
value here.
Yeah, yung isang thing lang din about the situation of Francis Ngannou is, I mean, marketable naman si Ngannou kahit paano namin natin tingnan. I mean, diba? Sobrang ingay ng pangalan niya. Pero, look at Israel Adesanya. He's, apparently, yung nag-extend siya ng contract, he's currently the highest paid active UFC fighter today. Dun sa, new contract niya. I mean, Adesanya and Ngannou are both champions. Bakit si Ngannou hindi pwede makatanggap ng very magandang contract din, di ba?
It's marketable kasi si Adesanya It's unfair in terms of ang nakita ko lang na unfair doon is 600,000 yung bayad kay Ngannou, 500 yung kay Cyril Gane. I'm like, hoy! Hoy!
Layo.
So not unless Ngannou is receiving locker room bonuses, di ba? That's pretty messed up. Okay, that's not good. That's not good. Pero hopefully he gets a better contract if he decides to renew with the UFC. Pero kasi you're the heavyweight champion of the world. Now let's take the Adesanya Ngannou comparison. You have to understand, Izzy is more marketable in the sense that he's more social media active. He's more visible in public. He's more visible in terms of promoting the UFC. And he's developed his personal brand that carries the UFC with him. So when you talk about Izzy Adesanya, everybody equates him with the UFC. Diba? And he's very visible. You see him very active on social media platforms. Si Ngannou, wala masyado.
Wala.
Diba?
Medyo tito siya.
So ano pa konting push pa. Konting push pa. Diba?
Tama yan
0-hour discussions.
Sorry.
Go, Carl.
Yeah, tama ka add ko lang doon. Do you have, as a fighter, do you have personal brand or a personality na kapag tinutol na yung UFC, like Francis Ngannou, ex-UFC champion, kung wala na ba yon, okay ka pa rin? Will you still get a payday? Then you can leverage yourself in other sports. Like,
I guess
si Conor can really do that now.
Diba? Yeah. I guess 100%. We can compare his situation to boxers like si Terence Crawford, who is very, very good. Pero because he's not that marketable, diba? He can't get the pay that he wants. I mean, may pangalan siya and all. He does his skills. He lets his skills do the talking, pero it's not really enough to, I guess, draw people to his fights.
Diba? Kasi rin naman si Bud Crawford din naman kasi, he doesn't do anything to promote himself. Diba? He's relying on the boxing promoters to do the promoting for him. That's the problem. We're at the digital age. We're in the age of social media. You can actually create your personal brand and leverage that personal brand to your promoters. Look at what Ryan Garcia is doing. Diba?
Yeah. I guess
in terms of win streaks, diba? In terms of winning, in terms of records, diba? Medyo pa siya Medyo nandun pa siya sa gitna He's not even on top. Medyo nandun pa lang siya sa gitna. And his last performance wasn't really spectacular. Pero, diba? Pag nakita mo yung social media following niya, pag nakita mo yung fan base niya, he uses that as leverage to get better paychecks. Yun ang niya. Kasi and that's what I share with local boxers and local fighters here. I always encourage them. Be present in social media. Be there and create your personal brand. So pag sinabi mo personal brand, when people mention your name, they have a particular knowledge of you. Meron silang feeling na ikaw tong fighter na to. True. And then they start following you. You start building your fan base. So ngayon, when it comes to negotiating for your talent fees later on, sasabihin mo, I have 20,000 followers on Instagram. I have more than 200,000 followers on TikTok. These people, are going to put eyeballs on your promotion. So you have to give me more money. Diba? You can use that as leverage. Look at my YouTube channel. Diba? There are certain ways of doing this, diba? Malaking game changer si internet. Now let's get to 0-hour discussions with JM Cruz. Haba na mo, bro. If Ngannou had 70% of Randy's Greco-Roman wrestling, he'll be a force to reckon with for years. I totally agree. Okay? And tama rin yung sinabi ni JC nung ilan kanina na wala na he's practically cleaning up the heavyweight division eh. Diba?
Yes.
He's practically cleaning up the heavyweight division. Ikaw, Che, sa tingin mo, who would be a good
What's an
match
interesting,
right now?
yeah,
Diba?
match.
Minus
Ako,
Tuivasa and Derek Lewis. Diba? Who would give Ngannou a hard time?
I think yung talagang na may chance na makipag-go toe-to-toe with Francis Ngannou, si Tom Aspinall. I really like that guy. Sobrang athletic niya for a heavyweight. He moves
That's a good
parang siya, he
suggestion,
moves like a middleweight inside the cage. So yeah, I think kapag na sunod-sunod pa yung win streak ni Tom Aspinall, pwede rin siyang lumaban for the title against kung si Ngannou pa champion by that time. So hopefully, kung siya pa, mas maganda. Gusto ko kasi makita kung gaano kagaling si Tom Aspinall. I'm very impressed with his skills, kung paano siya gumalaw. He has good ground game, maganda striking niya. So let's see kung ano yung magiging future niya sa UFC.
It's a good
suggestion. Medyo
very
sumama sa agos ng ating discussion. Kaloy Blesin, wala kasi masyadong heavyweights ngayon na nakatapat si Ngannou.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
And Aspinall, teka lang Aspinall, is he top
I was
15
going
or
to-
top 10? Alam ko nasa
Top
top
10.
15,
Number
top 10
Top
yan.
10 na siya.
He's top
yan.
10 na.
So,
Yes.
and it's going and he has to climb up the ranks pa rin kasi it's going to
Yes.
be detrimental for the UFC from a marketing perspective kung yung number 1 mo ilalaban mo sa number 10 mo. So kailangan Aspinall needs to climb up the ladder a bit more lang. If he cracks the top 5, yan, they can build them up, they can create a story behind it, and then Ngannou kasi feeling ko rin naman si Ngannou kasi kaya rin hindi siya madalas lumalaban kasi nga nag-eliminator lagi si heavyweight division.
Oo nga.
Diba? Lagi
true.
diba?
The heavyweight
So
picture.
it's very it's very tricky. It's very tricky.
Tama.
Ikaw, may sasabihin ka, Carl? Go.
Sorry. So, I was just going to say that the heavyweight division is such a, parang palagi siyang in flux kasi nga, even si Ngannou is like, parang just a temporary fixture, I think. And some of the most interesting ones is like, yan, si Tom Aspinall. Mga dark horse na yung ipasok mo. Ako, I'm kind of rooting for an interesting grappler to go up against Ngannou. Like, ako, I think Volkov, si Alexander Volkov, yung Russian, is a good matchup for this guy. Kasi he's tall and is almost as muscled as si Ngannou. But let's face it, the fight that we really want to see is Francis versus Bones.
Yes.
Diba? Who would
I
have
guess
paid for that?
if that happens,
That's
Have you seen John Jones, the meathead?
Feeling ko John Jones that fight's gonna happen.
I guess if that happens,
It has to happen in our
manalo si
lifetime, guys.
Ngannou.
Nanalo si Ngannou, that's why feeling ko rin he's gonna use that fight as a leverage to get
We should
more
call
money.
out John Jones, man.
Parang ang
Oh,
ginagamit
he
niya eh. Kasi,
Tapos si John
Para sa pa
Jones,
nagpapalaki si John Jones, di ba?
oo nga eh.
diba? Si John Jones din naman. John Jones likes the limelight. He likes the attention. He likes it when people talk about him and that he is relevant. So, ano yan? Tawag dito, gusto niya yan, di ba?
Gusto kong malaman, kanino kampi si Che pag nangyari.
Oo nga, when that happens.
Parang ang hirap mag-decide kasi John Jones, kilala na si John Jones na sobrang technical niya. And I think between Cyril Gane and John Jones, mas technical fighter si John Jones and he has better fight IQ. Kasi if you're fighting guys like Ngannou, kailangan yung fight IQ mo talaga mataas yung fight IQ mo kasi di ka pwedeng makipagsabayan sa kanila. Kailangan pag-iisipan mo every step na gagawin mo. So I think if that happens, I think John Jones. I may be wrong.
Hey!
Ang question, Che, will John Jones even reach the fight?
Oo nga eh.
Ayun ang tanong. Kasi
Probably can. Pero ano kasi yan eh, ang question ko lagi dyan, chicken leg si John Jones eh. Kaya
Yun
yung
nga,
tingin mo,
yun.
he can take, do you think John Jones
Ngannou
has
down?
what it takes to take Ngannou down?
I think so. I think
Ang
John
hirap,
can
no?
take. Oo eh.
I think call out ni John Jones ngayon si Stipe.
Oo
He
nga.
wants to fight Stipe. Yeah.
Tune-up fight daw sa kanya si
Tune-up
Steve.
fight.
Tune-up fight yan, Stipe, for sure. Kasi he needs to, the reason why John Jones is bulking up, kasi he needs the added weight, the added muscle, and then he needs a tune-up fight so that he can assess how he feels and how he moves in
Yes.
the new weight division.
Yeah.
Okay, so talagang ano yan. Pero ako, I want that fight to happen. Kasi it's either, ang nakikita ko lang naman dyan is if John Jones cannot take Ngannou down and keep him down, okay, and keep him down, he needs to fight from a distance. And when if he does that, it's going to be a boring fight. Bro mo, ano lang yan, push kick, leg kick, push kick, suntok, clinch, tapos ano, alam mo yun, it's not, and it only takes a few seconds for Ngannou to reach, okay, to bridge that gap and throw, diba, the right hand of God. So
the uppercut from hell.
Diba, the uppercut from hell.
Na fatality si Ubirim.
Ayan, sabi ng ating chicken legs si John Jones, pero ang tanong, magpapataba ba si Jones ng leg kick? Okay. Pwede rin. Yeah, I think he'll do a lot of calf kicks, he'll do a lot of leg kicks. Now, the reason why we've nag-branch out tayo sa discussion ito is because we're talking about the heavyweight division and its future. Now, with Taito Iwasa winning this, I actually like Derek Lewis taking down Tuivasa. I've never seen him do it, pero the way he executed it, double underhooks, pushed him off the cage, circle around, inside leg trip. Sabi ko, tahanip yun Mahirap mag-inside leg trip mahirap mag-inside leg trip, yung that wrestler inside leg trip. That's very difficult to do. So you have to establish double underhooks. So he was able to do that. He was able to pin Tuivasa against the cage, okay? Lean his weight towards him. And then afterwards, circle outside to his right and then do a left leg inside leg trip. For you to sequence everything together, that takes a lot out of you. And that's very smart na wrestling move for Derek Lewis kasi he didn't really have to reach for a leg. He didn't really need to level change. He didn't really have to carry Tuivasa's weight. It's a very smart wrestling move.
May coordination si Derek, di ba?
Doon makikita na parang, okay, nag-i-improve siya. We see improvements on his skill set. Yeah. We just need to see improvements on his cardio. Feeling ko talaga, he needs to improve. He needs to improve on his cardio. He really needs to work on that. Feeling ko he needs to do more road work or sprints. Especially for heavyweights, mabilis mapagod yan kasi you need more oxygen to recover the muscles and all the exertions. Now, when it comes to the winning sequence, that could have gone either way. And I will echo Chess statements na Lewis just got winded. So if you're winded, you can't really chain your attacks. You can't really mount any type of logical sequence when it comes to your striking. And dun lamang si Tuivasa. Tuivasa has better striking. And it was a very close contact. It was a very short range na elbow strike. It just so happened that the elbow and the forearm landed squarely on the jaw. It hit the button. Wala. Tulog talaga si Derek Lewis. It was... So, it could have gone either way. Tuivasa could have landed that elbow or Derek Lewis could have unleashed a haymaker and hit Tuivasa. Diba? So, it was a really good fight. I really enjoyed it. And for me rin, I agree with Karl. Medyo mas nag-enjoy ako dun sa co-main event kaysa dun sa main event. Kasi, si main event, it was good. It was really good. It was really close. Okay? Pero, you have to understand it from a very technical level in order to appreciate it. But before we go to the main event, okay, we'll just take a small commercial. We will announce the winners. We'll give, bibigyan po natin ng airtime yung mga nanalo. Elorde Promotions and VSP Promotions did a very successful event sa Ilocos Vegan. It was a combination of boxing, Muay Thai, and MMA event.
UKC, Elorde, and VSP ata to, no?
Yes, it was a 2-day affair covered by our friends Michael Saison and Rika Aquino from Baby Dynamite Sports. Please follow their pages. Thank you so much, VSP Promotions and Elorde Promotions. Ate Kukoy Elorde, thank you so much. She sent me the results and I promised to name the winners. Okay, so the winners are, so medyo mga 17 names ata to eh. Teka lang.
Grabe. 2-day event.
Kasi 2-day event, man. Tsaka nakakatuwa. Nakakatuwa na, uy, ba't to nag-ano? Teka lang. Nag-ano yung ano ko? Yung aking telepono. Ayan. Naghang. Kailangan nating mention to kasi ang hirap-hirap mag-mount ng event ngayon, man. So, kailangan natin silang bigyan ng papugay. So, we got Florivic Montero, he is the winner. Knockout, second round. Diba? Sobrang, tsaka nakakatuwa yung event na to. Ang dami knockout, daming submission. And then, we got winner via unanimous decision, Gretel De Paz. Gretel De Paz. Okay?
Ayun yung battle of the former women pro boxers na nag-Muay Thai yata or MMA?
Oo. Nag-Muay Thai. Tapos, winner, unanimous decision, Adrian Batoto Jamar. Si Adrian Batoto, magaling na Muay Thai fighter to. So, ako in-expect ko talaga manalo siya. Okay. Then, we got Richard La Chica, submission, second round. Okay, second round submission, Richard La Chica. We got Jules Victoriano. Jules Victoriano, TKO round 3. You have to watch out for this guy. Okay, I've covered a lot of his fights. This guy is really good. This guy is the real deal. As long as he's focused and is disciplined, this guy is going places. Jules Victoriano. And then Gary Tamayo via unanimous decision. We got split decision winner, Elmar Zamora. And then, who else? Brian Tamayo. Unanimous decision. Congratulations. Ranelio Kizo. Okay, TKO in the 7th round. Medyo si Ranelio Kizo, he's gaining confidence with each win. So far, yung mga laban niya, puro TKO. It's very impressive. Raymark Alicaba, majority decision winner. And then we got Jover Amistoso, unanimous decision. Another unanimous decision win by Aljun Pelesio. We got Ali Caniega via TKO in the 1st round. Alexander Almacen, unanimous decision. Alto Yogon, TKO in the 2nd round. To si Alto Yogon to rin. You gotta watch out for this guy. Medyo maganda yung power shots nitong taong to. Okay? So those are your winners from the recently concluded Ilocos. Thank you to the LGU of Vegan. Thank you so much for hosting them.
Congrats.
May pahabol si Zero R discount. No more Popeyes and endorsement for Derek Lewis. Feeling ko naman friends pa rin sila. Okay, and then let's go to the main event of the evening. Okay, I want to hear everyone's thoughts. Ladies first, Tita Che, when you saw the fight, and then afterwards, if you had the chance to rewatch the fight. Kasi ako, I rewatch fights, especially yung mga ganyang technical na laban. It takes me around 3 to 4 times of watching it round by round before I get to make a decision on what my opinion is. Ikaw, Tita Che, what are your thoughts about the Adesanya Whittaker 2?
Yung naging game plan ni Whittaker, as expected, kasi parang he learned from his mistakes nung unang beses sila naglaban. He was so aggressive and he was trying to get into Adesanya. Nakita natin the first round, tinatry niya i-close yung distance. Kaso bago pa siya tumama yung suntok niya, natatamaan na siya ni Adesanya. And then, Adesanya dropped him in the first round. And then, in the second round, na-knockout na siya. Nanalo si Adesanya by TKO. So, nung rematch, ito yung mga adjustments na ginawa ni Whittaker. Kaya, expected ko na magiging technical chess match fight yung laban ni Adesanya, yung rematch ni Adesanya and Whittaker. So, on first round, nakita natin na ginegage pa nila ni Whittaker tsaka ni Adesanya. But in the second round, nakita na natin lumabas na yung game plan ni Whittaker, yung jab lang siya, tapos leg kick, ganun. Ay, hindi ko masyado yung expect kay Adesanya na magto-throw siya ng more leg kick kesa sa I was expecting that from Robert Whittaker kasi nga para hindi siya kailangan pumasok dun sa, hindi niya kailangan na parang maging aggressive pasukin yung para i-close yung distance kay Adesanya kasi lugi siya when it comes to yung reach advantage kasi nasa na kay Adesanya eh. So kahapon I really thought that Whittaker won kasi I gave round 2, 4 and 5 kay Robert Whittaker. Kasi there is one round, I think it was round 4, na yung, kasi sabi nila yung sa criteria ng judging, na para maging effective yung grappling, yung ginawa kasi ni Whittaker, yung nakuha niya yung likod ni Whittaker, nakuha ni Whittaker yung likod ni Adesanya, and he was able to put one of, yung arm niya under the neck of Adesanya, that is considered as effective grappling. Yung na-execute mo yung na-execute mo ng maayos. So, I'm not sure why would yung isang judge binigay niya yung round 5 kay Adesanya. Yung round 5 clearly kay Whittaker yun. Yung round 2 lang talaga sobrang close. That's why earlier nung lunch break ko, nanood ako nung fight breakdown ni The Weasel. And doon ko naintindihan, tama nga yung round 2 kay Whittaker, but it was so close. Yung I can't imagine yung hirap ng mga judges kahapon because that fight sobrang hirap niyang i-judge. Parang minsan nakita ko, sino ba yung sa round 3, paano ganun? Mahirap siya i-judge, sobrang close niya. I just feel bad for Whittaker na parang after this rematch, ano na yung magiging, what's next for him? Siyempre, ang aim niya is makuha yung belt ulit. Pero I saw one of his interview ata kahapon, sabi niya na parang he will do everything to earn the title shot again. So for me, I thought Whittaker won, but it's too close. Hindi pwede natin sabihin na na-rub siya. Pero sobrang close niya na it can go either way.
JC?
Sa akin na lang, what do you guys think of this tweet by Michael Chandler? I'm not sure kung malamang nakita niyo na to online.
Yes.
Sinabi
Chandler,
trust me, I love Izzy, but we have gotten to a point where a dominant champ just needs to stand there, throw a few shots per round, and he will not lose unless he gets caught, and he will always get the nod. Izzy got paid on this last contract. Go fight. Don't you dare spar. This thing is happening kahit sa boxing. I mean, pag ikaw yung champ, almost always meron champ's advantage. So, what do you think of that statement?
Ikaw, Tito Carl.
Sige, ako muna. He has a point. That was the most undramatic, I think, Izzy Adesanya fight that I've ever seen. He didn't even bother with the dancing walkout, diba? Which is something I always look forward to. Iniisip ko ano bang bagong anime na panood niya, parang magre-reference siya. Kasi parang hindi siya pumped up for this one. So I was like, maybe he was really concentrating on trying to beat Robert Whittaker, diba? And to a point he was. But Chandler also has a great point in that it looked like a sparring match. Kasi he did not risk much in terms of parang, he always says he gambles on himself, but I didn't see him gambling this time. I just saw a dominant champion who parang, I have your number. Let's see how much you've improved from the last time. And tama naman si Che. From the last time, ang laki na nang in-improve ni Bobby Knuckles. This guy has, I think, much better reaction time na ngayon. Kasi he's been fighting not to this the Lolo Cuban na si what's his name? Okay. Oh my God.
Yoel Romero.
Kasi sabi mo ng Lolo Cuban, alam na namin kung sino si Lolo Cuban.
Yes.
Ilang beses niya na kasing nakalaban, parang feeling ko may hangover pa rin siya sa away na ganun lumaban, di ba? Baka-bullish, tapos bigla na lang nawawala sa paningin mo, yun pala, nag-shoot na siya. So this time, the matador in the form of Izzy Adesanya is somebody na how do I figure this guy out? Nobody's been able to figure it out. And I see Robert Whittaker certainly hasn't until now. If he fights on points. And I think this was the only crucial thing that si Bobby Knuckles should have done. Like, in the last 3 rounds, he should have gambled on himself a bit more. Because if you don't risk anything, and we see this in the only guy who actually knocked out Izzy and Alex Pereira, he risked a lot to get into the pocket. Well, that was kickboxing, syempre. So iba rin yung strategy. But in terms of the grappling, wala na akong masabi. I think that's the most times that Izzy was taken down. Hindi lang nakakapitalize si Robert Whittaker. But I think the backpacking and the chin, the arm under the chin, I think that would have been great point na effective grappling siya. Sayang kasi hindi siya nakapag-GNP, which is something that he has done effectively in the past with Joel. Sayang di niya magawa kay Izzy because magaling mag-scramble. In fairness, Coach Franco, yung sessions ni Izzy with si Galbao has paid off. Parang ang galing niya ng mag-scramble and basic escapes niya. And those are just basic escapes executed on such a high level and such a speed na tatayo na lang siya pero technically, and then he can just round off from such a position na naka-backpack na si Robert Whittaker, and he was trying, man. This guy, although I disagree with some of the judging, I think it's only fair if you're a judge, kasi ang hirap nga for this fight na ibigay mo kay Izzy kasi ang long-standing tradition sa UFC and in a unified rule set like UFC, to give it to the champion because ang overall parang theme palagi is the contender needs to take it away from the champ without question. Yun lang naman yung parang okay, I can give it to him, but I can also see Michael Chandler's point na boring naman, guys. Bakit parang gano'n? Si GSP ka ba na yung last 3 or 4 fights niya ganun na lang yung template natin sa mga champs na nag-point spar?
Hindi, totoo yan. Here's the thing. When it comes to application of rule sets, we have to understand and accept na a lot of the interpretation of the rules that we're getting right now came from boxing talaga.
Yeah.
So, what applies is, if you are the challenger, okay, if you're the defending champion, the only thing you have to do is defend.
Yeah. Okay?
So it falls, okay, the weight or the burden to win falls on the challenger. And you have to either knock the guy out or win convincingly. That's the overall encompassing kumbaga working formula. Now, when I watched it, I gave round 1, 2 kay Izzy, 3, 4 kay Whittaker, round 5 slightly by a hairline kay Izzy. All he needed to do, and he knows this, that's the thing, he knows this. All he needed to do was defend the belt. He didn't have to prove that he's champion. He didn't have to say that he validate himself by being the champion. He didn't have to tell people that, hey, I'm the champion for the second time. All he needed to do was defend it. And that's what he did. And that's what he will continue to do, because those are the rule sets. If you play by the rule sets, if you're playing by the rules and you win, it's not your fault. Diba? It's the fault of your opponent. Diba? Now, in terms of Robbie Whittaker improving through the years, most definitely ang dami niyang in-improve. He had a really good game plan. That was the best game plan. You have to take Izzy down. If you're looking, you have to learn from what Jiri did kay
Dominic Reyes.
Jan Blachowicz. If you have to take what Jan Blachowicz did to Izzy when he went to light heavyweight, and you saw that there are holes in Izzy's ground game, then that's what you do.
Yes.
So, yan yung ginawa ni Rob Whittaker, and that was a really smart move. Now, here's the thing. It's one thing to take the guy down. It's another to keep him down and attack him. Now, the rule set of MMA is when you talk about aggressive or effective grappling, when it comes to getting the person down, you have to keep him there. You have to exert a certain amount of control, and then you should be able to surmount a significant amount of offense or
Capitalize
attack.
ka man lang.
You have to capitalize. Ang nangyari kasi, Rob was able to take Izzy down, but Izzy was able to stand up. That's the thing. So na-nullify ngayon. So pumunto si Whittaker sa takedown, pumuntos din si Izzy sa pag-akyat uli, sa pagtayo. At the same time, Whittaker spent too much time on that hip control that he wasn't really able to get anything going. The most that he did was knee Izzy on the legs, or no, he wasn't really able to take him down again. Most significant was the jumping on Izzy's back. Ang hindi ko maintindihan, back niya binitawan yon. He was probably feeling slippery. Baka naisip niya. And then if you watch it again, maganda yung wrist control ni Izzy. And siguro yun yung na-recognize ni Rob na, okay, it's only a matter of time wherein, kunyari naka-backpack ka or naka-seatbelt ka, all you have to do is get the bottom hand, take it down, swing it over the other side. Wala na yon, tanggal ka na doon. Pagdating naman doon sa overhook side, so if the top side seatbelt, all you have to do is swing it to the other side as well or swing it underneath your arm. Ipit na yon, you can roll over or you can shake the guy off. And in the fourth round, or in the later rounds, madulas na kayo pareho, hindi na ma-maintain ni Whittaker yon. Whittaker, what Whittaker should have done was, when he jumped off, dapat maliit pa rin yung gap. Dapat bumalik siya dun sa hip control. Yung nakukuha niya yun eh. If you have hip control, dapat ginawa niya, sitting takedown na lang siya eh. Hindi ko maintindihan ba't di niya ginawa yun eh. That was the easiest takedown you could ever do in your life. And I met, as in ako, sabi ko, yung mga training partners ni Rob Whittaker na kaibigan ko, what the hell is Rob doing? That's a sitting takedown. Sabi ko, sitting takedown.
Alam mo yung magaling dyan sa sitting takedown, si Cowboy, si Ronnie.
Oh, dude. As in, all I had to do was do this, connect it to him, look outside, sit down. Tapos, doon mo rin makikita ngayon yung snappy reactions ni Adesanya. The moment na nag-rotational takedown, nag-rotate si Rob Whittaker, he immediately posted his hand. The moment he posted his hand, hindi siya ang tawag dito? The moment he posted, you if you watch that sequence again, turn around takedown si Whittaker, Izzy posted his hand, and then yung free leg niya, hindi niya tinapak. He swung over, so that generated momentum. Haba-haba ng legs ni Izzy, generated forward momentum, hindi nakaikot si Whittaker, nakatayo si Adesanya. That was smart. That was really good. That's wrestling pedigree. Ang alam kong wrestling na nakatraining ni Izzy is yung team ni Volkanovski. He just got his purple belt from Galvao, pero he trained with Galvao when he was in the States, when they were there. Pero yung sa New Zealand niya, tsaka sa Australia, merong mga magagaling na wrestlers din doon eh. Pero yun nga, yung maliliit na sequence na yon, another one that really bothered Rob Whittaker were the calf kicks. He was able to check some. He was able to check some. The problem is he got dropped in the first round. Second round, he was tentative, was probably gauging his distance. He really got things going third and fourth. Pagdating ng fifth round, he was probably in panic mode na sino yung fifth round mo, Che? Si Whittaker yung fifth round mo, di ba?
Whittaker.
Yes.
Whittaker ka, fifth round, di ba? Ako by a hairline naman si Izzy, because Izzy was able to manage distance. He was given a warning for extending his fingers too much. Pero yun na lang eh. He knew that all he needed to do was create distance between himself and Whittaker, kasi si Whittaker, nakuha na yung timing niya. All Whittaker needed to do was throw a straight or two jabs and then go for a takedown. Feeling ko talaga, kung naka-takedown ng mga dalawa or tatlo si Whittaker sa fifth round, mananalo si Whittaker doon. Pero hindi, napagod na rin siya. It's so hard to take down. And I have to commend Adesanya's base. Ang ganda ng base niya. He was able to sprawl properly. He was able to recognize when the shot was coming. So recognition na lang ng position to, recognition ng takedowns. So he's gotten better. Whittaker definitely improved, but Adesanya was just on a different level, and he knows how to prioritize. He didn't really have to say, okay, let me let me showcase my skill sets. Okay, hindi. Para sabi nila, hindi, ako yung champion, habulin mo ako. Alam natin laro na to, di ba? He's using the rules to his advantage. So, I mean, I saw the Michael Chandler tweet from an entertainment perspective. That is true, di ba? Kasi Izzy can only talk so much, di ba? Pero I don't know how long it'll take before he'll start losing fan base because he just talks pero he can't really fight. Pero yun nga he's winning That's the problem. So now people will either pay to see him lose or they're really Adesanya fans, di ba? They're really Adesanya fans.
Or just to throw this in, do you think na maybe, just maybe, Izzy is doing this because he's slowly, trying to move out of the middleweight division and baka akit na siya sa 205?
Ako nga, sana maglaban muna sila ni Pereira
Oo nga.
Yes.
That would be nice, Pereira.
Di ba? Ang ganda nun Ang ganda nung may backstory
Revenge
kayo.
match.
Di ba? Di ba?
Malayo pa si Pereira
Malayo pa talaga.
Tapos ano yan? Tawag dito, si Pereira, anong division ba? Same, di ba? Middleweight?
Same. Middleweight.
Same. O yun. Di ba? He keeps knocking out people. Wala na. Eto na to. Let's make this rematch happen. Di ba? Tapos may konting magandang backstory, magandang So it's going to be a very, very interesting fight. And I really hope that we're going to see that happen. So, sa middleweight naman kasi, parang nilinis din kasi na Adesanya to
Limas na, kaya bakit siyang di ba? 205
Ayan, I'm checking it. Sabi mo, number 2 pa rin pala si Marvin Vettori. Tapos, ayan tama. So, Jared Cannonier is number 3. Ayan, sumugal siya dun. Sumugal siya dun sa laban na yon. Then Paulo Costa is number 5. Oh my God. Sean Strickland. That's interesting. Sean
yes,
Strickland.
that one. Oh, yeah.
Yes, I like Sean Strickland.
Diba? That's going to be
entertaining guy.
Entertaining guy to. Uriah Hall, Kevin Gastelum. Tamo. May practically cleaned this up. So light heavyweights probably. Pero hindi, it's too skinny. Too skinny si Adesanya for too skinny si Adesanya for light heavyweight. Not unless he bulks up and he gets really big and he gets really strong. Pwede pa yun. Pero yung right now, medyo wala pa. So, sabi rin the more Izzy's fights go, he's proving to be far more different than Anderson Silva, though I hope to see him knock. Nga, Anderson Silva's a showman kasi. He likes to knock people out. Pero towards the latter parts of his career, medyo naging point fighter na rin si Anderson Silva. Kasi
he was never the same
alam ko may allowance sa mga UFC
break,
champions Alam ko may allowance yan
okay.
Alam ko may allowance yan. May allowance sila every month. Pati interim meron. Kaya just lalo na yung interim para maengganyo yung mga fighters to accept the interim title bouts. So, other than that, Tita Che, thank you so much for being with us. Please.
It's an honor.
I hope na we can have you again over. Tita Che, where can people find you? Please plug your social media handles. Where do you showcase your fight analysis and breakdowns?
Swing for the Fences on TikTok and also on Instagram. Wala na yung sa Facebook. So, Instagram and TikTok. And yes, thank you so much, guys, for having me. I learned a lot.
Swing for the fences. Okay, everybody, swing for the fences. Instagram and on TikTok. Actually, yung mga swing for the fences na post ni Tita Che, pinapanood ko kasi mas maganda yung edit niya kaysa sa akin. Yung akin, dumadaldal lang ako
You can learn
production value. I mean, I watch this stuff. So I'm gonna watch this. Ang ganda ng mga pagkakagawa JC.
Yeah, so mabagit nga pala since we mentioned kanina yung about yung current team ni Francis Ngannou, which is Extreme Couture. Our thoughts and prayers for the family of Extreme Couture coach Tim Lane. He was actually, I think it was 2 or 3 days ago, he was found dead somewhere in Las Vegas. So, this guy was also the former coach of boxing champion who's this na nakalaban ni Manny Pacquiao before I forget the name. Sino ba tong do you remember that guy, the kalaban ni Manny Pacquiao before, naging kickboxer before going into boxing?
Naku, ang dami nun. Ayun, Chris Algieri daw.
Chris Algieri, yes.
Ayan,
Former
ang
coach ni Chris
galing. Ang
Algieri
galing
to si
ni,
Tim Laurente.
Yan, thank you, John Ree Lumabaw.
John
Yan.
Ray
There you
Lumabaw.
go.
Yan,
Thank you, John. Yes.
Galing.
So, former coach ni Chris Algieri to si Tim Lane, and then Tim Lane is also with Extreme Couture, one of the striking coaches there. So,
sayang. Our thoughts and prayers. Tito Carl, please, any releases?
Oh, okay.
oh, your music.
I have 2 releases on Bandcamp. Please buy them. They're my musical project under Dark Horse. Balik lang tayo sa UFC. Ano pala, thank you to Roxanne Modafferi for all the years that she has served as a pioneer in women's MMA. Nag-retire na siya kahapon. Kaya salamat sa lahat ng one of the true pioneers in WMMA. 40 plus fights, no, JC?
45,
Dami.
47
40.
fights.
40 plus.
Oh,
40
best
plus
of luck
yun.
in her retirement.
Diba? So please, Bandcamp, Tito Karl De Mesa, Destroy MNL, Swing for the Fences. I'm Franco Rulloda. Follow me on all social media platforms, Coach Franco's Corner. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. And we'll see you next week on the next episode of Combat Sports Weekly. Bye-bye.